Yo guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm gonna go over the five cars that I think are really underrated. Some of these I've personally owned, and some of them I'll show you why, but I believe they're really underrated sports cars for what they are and the value that they do. And some of them, they get a bad rep here and there, and I just recommend taking a second look at. All right. So number five, we've got the BMW Z4 M E85 E86 model. And I've actually owned one of these cars. These are one of the best handling cars you will ever own. I've taken this to the back roads and I've just sent it on the pedal, and it is one of the nicest feeling cars, most raw power feeling cars in the world. So this has 330 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. And this car, bro, this car weighs nothing. That legit, you can get one hand underneath the uh, bottom here and just lift the car up. It legit weighs nothing. It's got 330 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. And for something like this isn't a Charger, this isn't a Hellcat, this isn't a Trackhawk. It's not going to be a boat driving it. This is light as a feather. This is under 4,000 pounds. And I'll tell you, it is just one of the best feeling cars. I highly recommend it. It's got the 6-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 under 5 seconds. It's got 155 mile per hour top speed. That's something you just can't beat. And for the price, it's around 15 to 25K, depending on, how many miles, has it been hit before, and the condition of it. But I really recommend looking into something like this. This car is nice, strong, powerful, and it looks good too for its age. I believe this one's a 2007 model, if I'm not mistaken. Mine was a 2006 model, and the engines last a very long time. My personal one still has 133,000 miles right now, and I still own it to this day, and it's been solid. I've never had to replace the engine. Um, what I had to just, give it a little bit of oil changes here and there, and the basic maintenance. Obviously, every car you own is gonna have those basic maintenance. But for what it is, man, it's in NA, by the way, too, which is rare for BMW these days. And this is one of the best handling cars I've ever had. I highly recommend looking into this. And I believe it's going to be a collector's item down the road because this is the M version. You really don't see too many of these. And for the price point, it's a lot. It's really underrated for what it is. Highly recommend looking into this. All right. So number four, I got the Pontiac GTO, specifically the 2005 and 2006 models that have the LS2 6.0 liter engine in them. This car is really underrated. It's probably one of the better looking cars, in my opinion, for the year that it came out, and it just pays homage to the GTO line. And Pontiac don't make them anymore, and I wish they did. I wish they came out with the newer models. Hopefully, maybe we'll get something similar down the line, but this is a really underrated car. See, it's got 400 horsepower, 6.2 LS2 with the stock block, which can put a lot of power down once modded on the stock block. And these LS2s are known to be highly modifiable. And it's got a 4.6 to 4.8, 0 to 60 time, depending on if you got an automatic or a manual transmission. The automatic transmission is really good in there, but the manual you can't really beat it, man. Psh, the manual feeling in these cars is amazing. I've driven one of these as well, man. The sound. The only issue on these is people tend to stay away from them because they've got expensive parts. I believe like a headlight is like over $1,000 if if it cracks or if you got to replace it. If you're talking OEM original, it's about 1,000 each, so it can get really pricey. But you know, 10 to $20,000 range depending on the condition. The one other thing people are scared of this car is the firewall. Apparently, these cars have a wiring issue that uh, you know, tend to fizzle out in the protective coating, and these cars can catch on fire. So people are really scared of them. But with a little bit bulletproofing, it should be okay. There's some things you can, mess with the engine bay and get it all together. And it's got the optional manual, like I said before. This is a really underrated, nice looking car in my opinion. Something people should, take a double look at before they skip over it. So the third car I would say is the 2014 to 2017 Camaro SS. Now this is a really underrated car for the price point. So this obviously has a 4.426 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, and I believe that's around standard. Even the newer ones are somewhere around there as well, if I'm not mistaken. It does have a 0 to 60 around 4.5 seconds, maybe a little bit less if it's the automatic version. And it's got a underrated handling specifically for the 1LE. It's got most of the amazing handling package. You can handle almost as well as, German V6 cars that are meant for, windy roads. I believe this handles a lot better than the Scat Pack and the Chargers and the Challengers, which are like, boats for straight line speed. Now, if you want a muscle car that can go fast in a straight line, but can also hold its ground when it turns and curves, I would highly recommend looking into a Camaro SS. And why specifically this year, 2014 to 17, is because of the price point. Now, you can get one for around 15 to 25,000, depending on, miles, the condition, that's usually the sort of thing. How many options? That's really what the price boils down to. And it has the, LS3 engine. You can mod it or keep it stock. Either way, it's amazing. Either way, it can handle the power. And these aren't really like the Mustangs. These are the Mustangs like you know how they say Mustangs are crowd killers because they run into it and try to find a crowd. Man, let me tell you, man, these things, straight line, beeline, man, these things don't play around. They don't let loose unless you really, really, really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It's really highly underrated car, and for the price, you can't beat it for the price, man. Where are you gonna find another V8 muscle car for around 15 to 25,000 that looks amazing, looks very, very nice, right? Like, look at this beauty, man. There's not really too many cars that have this nice, front end and body style. Now, they will say the interior isn't up to par, but 15 to 20, 15 to 25,000. Are you really gonna complain? Like, there's no need to complain, man. The price is amazing as is. Now, if you wanted something better, okay, you can go get you a little CTSV. You know what I'm saying? You can pay double, triple the price. You know what I'm saying? But this for the price, this is one of the most underrated vehicles, in my opinion, that you could buy. Number two is the Ford Taurus SHO. Now, this car is a really, really, really understated sleeper. Let me show you why. So it's between the years 2010 to 2019. They don't make them anymore because, Ford decided, the whole go to EV, kill all the sedan line, Ford doesn't make cars like it anymore. So this one has a twin turbo 3.5 liter engine, which got around 365 horsepower, which is plenty for this car. Especially, you're not really trying to run a track, but for what it is, it's a pretty heavy, sporty cruiser. You really don't feel it though. These are modables. This twin turbo 3.5 liter, very, very strong engine, and this is the EcoBoost engine here. It can push some serious. It's just amazing, man. It feels good. It can push some power. It's got a 0 to 60 in the low fives, and for a family sedan, that's obviously looks like any other run-of-the-mill sedan. It's really, really, really underrated, and they're not really that pricey, depending on the miles and stuff. It's worth taking a look into if you want something that's low key, under the radar. But if a clapped out Civic or a clapped out Honda Accord pulls up next to you, you could give it a run for its money, and it's really, really nice. Number one, the 2003 to 2004 Terminator Mustang Cobra. This is one of the best, in my opinion, looking Mustangs, if not the best looking Mustang of all time. It might be a hot take, but I really, really don't think so. Now, this Cobra comes with a supercharged 4.6 liter engine. For its time, was unheard of. It has an amazing supercharger line comparable to that of the Hellcat. Might even be a little bit better. It's got a 5 second 0 to 60, which was amazingly fast for its time back in the early 2000s. And this was the original Hellcat before the Hellcat. This is such an underrated car, and it's got one of the most sleekest designs that are still, honestly, even today. This is such a nice looking car. It's still one of the best looking Mustangs, in my opinion. This design never gets old. You can't really classify this as a out of date. I believe this style will never go out of date. This is gonna be a in style for all of eternity, in my opinion. This is one of the best looking, probably the best looking Mustang generation Cobra ever made. And it's got forged internals, so it can push a lot of power. Like if you really wanted to go track this thing, you can push so much power into this thing with a few mods. The forged internals meaning like it's just ugh, bro, there's not enough words to describe this car. This thing is hands down the best Mustang that ever came out. If you disagree, tell me in the comments down below what you think is, what kind of car is better. But in my opinion, this is one of the best, if not the best, Mustang. And honestly, probably one of the most underrated vehicles that you've maybe not even heard of. Not many people know about the Terminator Cobra. They don't know if it's, you tell them, oh, what's a Terminator Cobra? And they'll be like, oh, you got to explain it to them. But man, this is one of the best looking cars. I really want to go buy me one. You can really get them for 25 to honestly like 40,000 depending on the miles. And hopefully one day I can buy one of these cars, man. So you guys just let me know down below what kind of car or video list that you want. Top 5 video list, and I can break it down for you. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.